Morning, everybody. How are we doing? Happy Monday to you. I had a really interesting weekend. Funnily enough, went to a stag do. I know, reliving my youth or something. I don't know. Really nice group of guys. A lot of really cool conversations. Obviously, I was one of the older ones there. You know, I'm not 23, 24 anymore. These guys were late 20s, early 30s, builders, construction. Great group of guys, and the conversation always comes around to wealth and money and property. It's not me. It's not. And I think a lot of people think about wealth in a very interesting way, and a lot of the reflection that I got, I suppose, from some of those conversations was around, "Oh, Steve, you're, quite wealthy," and I suppose I am, but also like I'm a lot older than you guys. I've had a lot more time to put this together. And I don't think in any one time in my life, I have literally ever made a crapload more money than the average man. I'm successful in my industry, but to me, it's what I do with that money, which has created so much more money. Because I consider myself a saver, more or less. So when I take out a mortgage to buy a piece of real estate, I'm using equity from the last piece of real estate. I'm not saving up deposits. And then when the bank comes to me and says, if you're going to borrow this much money, we'll give you $6,000 cash back, I don't go and spend that cash back. That cash back goes against that mortgage. And so I've always had those small and detailed amounts of financial discipline and always reinvested and always put that money back in. And I've never sat there and gone, "Oh, I've made some great money today, and therefore I'll go and spend a whole pile of money today." I mean, don't get me wrong, I can be frivolous as hell. Like, I like stuff. And I've got, let's be fair, I do own a Ferrari and stuff, and I've got toys in that, but I can afford it and I pay for them in cash. And I don't particularly like depreciation, so I keep selling them and reinvesting. And I think the reinvestment part and the fact that I've collected quality assets for decades. I'm 50, I started investing in my 20s. I think that a lot of that in my age group has just come to fruition. And I think if you're 20 and 30 and a bit drunk and talking to me in a stag do, it's easy to imagine that I must know something or have done something which is really, really life-changing, and all this money just turned up all at once. And it really didn't. There was definitely times where I couldn't afford a meat pie for lunch. It's just that was a long time ago. And now I can. I can afford stuff. And if you have those financial disciplines as well, and if you put some things in place and buy some quality assets like real estate, you've already done the hard part. Because the hard part is that it's Monday morning and you've got to go to that job that you may not love and do that thing that you may not love doing to create that income. The wealth, the actual real money, comes from what you do with that money once you get it. Do you go out on Friday and drink it? Or do you put it in the bank and spend it every year on a massive holiday? Or are you thinking about you in 12 months' time and 5 years' time and 10 years' time and 40 years' time? Are you thinking about that? Obviously, you've got to do a lot for you now too. You've got to live your life, because having a target at the very end isn't life. Life is the bit you do getting to the target. But I think there's a generational shift. And I think that if you can get really good at something in your 30s and capitalize it on your 40s, you should be able to enjoy it in your 50s and spend all the money in your 60s and 70s and onwards. That's just kind of how I feel about it. So what are you doing today? What are you doing to make your life better later on? What are you doing about that today? Maybe click the link, have a look at what I'm doing, and let's have a chat. Bang a comment. Tell me what you think. Am I just full of it? Have good thoughts. Have a great day, guys.